Okay, joining us now to weigh in on all this and more is the founder and editor of the Weekly Standard and ABC News contributor, Bill Kristol. Hello, sir.
Steve, how are you?
I'm doing well. Happy post-Labor Day.
You too.
All right, so let's start with that, because that was her today at a press conference on the tarmac, and then she repeated it again at a rally. What Trump said yesterday about Putin and that he's a better leader than Obama, although he did say he doesn't approve of the system naturally. And I don't know if he said he prefers him over Obama, as she stated. But what do you make of that whole thing?
I mean, I thought they were both pretty awful last night. Trump and neither Trump or Hillary convinced me they should be commander-in-chief. But I would say just analytically, in terms of what happened, I thought actually Trump did pretty well. I mean, this should have been Hillary Clinton's strongest evening, really, right? She has all the experience. She has Matt Lauer doing the interview. Presumably, this should have been her moment to shine, to show she knows detail, to be presidential and let Trump be Trump, which is, very much of a mixed bag. Instead, he did reasonably well by his lights. I mean, as I say, I disapprove of a lot, disagree with a lot of what he said and all that, but I mean, he didn't make any horrible mistakes. And she was weak, and the fact that they called this little press conference on the tarmac this morning, her first real press conference, you could say, in ages, that shows that they knew they had a bad story coming out of last night. They wanted to pivot and try to put this monkey on Trump's back. He is pro-Putin. I think that's very deplorable. But again, she always overdoes it, right? She can't just quote what he said and say that's that's an unfortunate thing to say. A presidential candidate shows what kinds of policies he would pursue that are bad for the country. She has to accuse him of being unpatriotic and scary because he made a sort of, I mean, it's just, she can't, she's a horrible candidate. I really think, I've been saying this for 3 weeks, you and I have discussed this, I don't like either of them, but I think Trump is gaining on her, and they're rattled, and if I were in the Clinton camp, I would be very worried about that first debate.
Yeah, that's going to be so interesting. And let me ask you this, Bill. I mean, I know I don't want to make too much of it, but I don't want to ignore it like the media has been told to do and is doing either. If she starts coughing during that debate, if she has to come back after the commercial is over, like she did at a Democratic primary debate, the primaries, I mean, how devastating could something like that be?
I mean, I don't know. It depends whether people think she just has an allergy or a problem. I think the substance is her bigger problem, and the fact that, look, I'm really struck by this. I mean, what is she's, Trump says a lot of things that, depending on your point of view, are either mildly embarrassing or annoying or even disqualifying. And Hillary Clinton repeats them, and so that's her campaign. Her campaign is to disqualify Donald Trump.
Right.
That might work because he, as I say, gives plenty of opportunities for people to have severe doubts about whether he should be president of the United States. But does she have anything more than that? I mean, it is really startling. We've all seen negative campaigns, but usually there's at least some positive aspect to it. What is Hillary Clinton's agenda? I mean, I think, and I don't even ask that rhetorically or like polemically. I really don't know. Could anyone summarize it? Whatever you think of Trump's, he's got one, right? He's going to build the wall. He's going to renegotiate the trade deals. He hates the free trade stuff. I disagree with him on that, but fine. He's going to build our military up, but then never use it because he doesn't want to get involved anyway.
Right.
Fine. It's a little incoherent, but you could sort of have some bullet headlines of Trump, the kind of change Trump is going to bring about. It's a change election. The one thing I learned in '92 working in the first Bush White House is if people want change, they're willing to excuse or kind of overlook an awful lot of flaws in the candidate who at least promises change. And Hillary Clinton is the candidate of status quo. And she has, I mean, what change will she bring about? I think one thing Donald Trump should do is just ask Hillary Clinton, what major changes are you going to bring about in American policy, foreign policy, or domestic policy? Just name a change. Yeah. I mean, any change, I mean, it's really amazing that she has so little to say for herself.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. You're absolutely right. It's all about, it's doing what the media does, tearing Donald Trump apart for everything he says and magnifying it to an extent where it really doesn't deserve that kind of magnification. Let me ask you, as we sit here, you're not a fan of either of them. I know that, and we'll get to Gary Johnson in a second. I don't think you'll be pulling the lever after today, after your tweets and what he said, which we'll bring to the people. But can you see yourself voting for Trump? Finally?
I can't. No, not really. I mean, I just think he has such bad character. But I've got to say that if anything, I was sort of more upset about the prospect, and I was upset about both, and I can vote for my friend Evan McMullen here in Virginia, so I think I'll be fine. I was more upset about the prospect of a Trump presidency than a Clinton presidency 3 or 4 weeks ago after the attack on the Khan parents and so forth. I mean, seeing Clinton a little more over the last 2 weeks has really reminded me of just how awful she could be. I mean, I just can't believe we're in this situation as a nation. But
So what upsets you? What upsets you? The thought of which one now would upset you the most?
I'm sort of equally upset. You know, I just can't toss and turn. It's like when you can't sleep on the left side, then you move to the right side. Can't sleep on the right side. It's a bad situation to be in, Steve. And maybe something will happen over the next 2 months to resolve it. I wrote just something just now as a published yet, which I say, look, I have friends on both sides. I have friends who think, at the end of the day,
right,
Clinton's sort of safer. I have friends who think at the end of the day, Trump is a less bad pick, and I have plenty of friends who think I just can't vote for either, and I respect all three positions, honestly. What I don't respect is the people who kind of try to pretend that one or the other is doing great and never makes any mistakes and doesn't have problems.
Right.
But I do think just analytically, again, coming back to that, just having been through a few of these election cycles, I think Hillary Clinton will probably win, but I think the odds of her winning are more like 3-1, not 20-1.
All right, let me let you hear what Gary Johnson said today on MSNBC. Go.
What would you do if you were elected about Aleppo?
About
Aleppo.
And what is Aleppo?
You're kidding.
No.
Aleppo is in Syria. It's the epicenter of the refugee crisis.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
All right, disqualify. We got 30 seconds. Disqualifying?
I mean, not necessarily by itself. People have kind of weird brain freezes, but in light of his general lack of interest in foreign policy, I would say so. But I love the fact that the New York Times, ridiculing Gary Johnson, had to correct twice its own misidentification of Aleppo. So it's like, welcome to 2016. Right?
And I know you really blame Obama for his inaction in Aleppo.
I mean, he's the one, incidentally, we're all laughing at Gary Johnson. Who's the person whose inactivity has led to this massive moral and geopolitical disaster?
Absolutely. Hey, Bill, always great to talk to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, up next, folks, part 2 of my interview from yesterday with Jesse Ventura. If you think that one was hot, you ain't seen nothing yet.